to make it silly.
But having a family beef can't be interesting.
Not to the masses.
This nigga.
I don't like.
Okay,
A normal person saying,
all right, bro. All right,
no.
No.
A normal person saying,
you got it. No.
A normal person saying, I don't like my. Just show me.
No,
you got it, man.
No,
show me the video.
No, you want to argue. That's fine.
Yeah.
No, I want to see the video.
No, you don't. You want to argue.
Thanks for tuning in. Matter of fact, thanks for your patronage. Wildly inappropriate. See how I brutally honest it? Like, wow, that boy, wow. Don't you see them boys so crazy? Chilling with the homies, dog, Keon, Gary, and KB.
Top 10 reasons to cut your parents off.
Just out the gate. Well, I just had that thought earlier, so that's something I always wonder. Like
Why people cut their parents off?
No, what's the thing that we know reasons why people cut off family members, but it feels trendy now. It feels like
cutting off people is trendy right now.
Yeah, and it's just like, what? So anytime I hear somebody say that, like, I ain't talked to my sister in 6 years, or I don't fuck with my mom and dad no more. I'm always like, damn, what happened? I always want to know what happened to make you be like, I'm never talking to them again, especially if y'all was cool before.
Yeah, my thing is if you're gonna put it on the internet, and you're gonna be like, yo,
yeah, you gotta give us the backstory.
Exactly. I'm letting you know I don't talk to my mom no more. We need the reasons now. You
Yeah.
don't get the chance to, you don't get to say that, and then we over here being like, all right. It's just like
They don't need to give anything.
Once you put it on the internet, I feel like you
can't get mad if people want the answers.
Yeah,
people are gonna want the answers, but most of the people are just gonna support you because they know you. They gonna think from your point of view. Oh, this was just, this was right. You go, yeah, fuck them.
Not when something goes viral. The internet weighing in.
Well, shit like that shouldn't go viral. You must be talking about famous people then. Who's talking about this?
Most things that are viral on the internet are not from famous people.
We're talking about specifically on this subject.
Yeah.
Of cutting your parents off.
People will.
What ordinary
the
citizen?
most random things go viral on Facebook. Everything
I'm talking about this specific.
I know, nigga.
Okay, so show me the video. Somebody like, I cut my parents off, and that just went viral.
I mean,
you have no idea what's going on the internet, nigga. The most everyday person.
No one should.
The most everyday.
hey,
nigga, you should.
But you can't come with a strong opinion like that's not happening, nigga. It's
no.
happening.
I'm saying something as you're telling me a regular person just posted. I cut my mom off, and that went viral.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Well, that's so Gary. So since you don't be on like a lot of social platforms like that, the things that people love the most is watching strangers unravel and tell stories. So it's like when people like that girl that went viral that was like story time about how my husband had like another whatever it was.
Right, she broke that in a series.
Broke into like
I didn't watch it, but
a 40-part series. She had the internet in the chokehold. I think it's like how she married, like I forgot what it was.
Husband or something.
It was like he got cheated on this whole time. Whatever it is, she made a 40 or something 50-part series, right?
And people
went crazy. There's so many millions and tens of millions of views that she got like a deal with like either CAA or Will Morris, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And all that happened, she was nobody.
But that's a story though. So what I heard y'all say to me is that somebody will get online and say, I cut my mom off, and that'll get like a wave. So what you're talking about is a very specific.
If you go on Facebook right now, right?
Yeah, what I'm saying is what I'm saying is that that's in the realm of all that stuff. So I've seen plenty of.
So you ever see like just a random status on Facebook that got 3 million shares? It has to pop up. Like
he's
like in denial that it's a thing.
If you search cut parents off, something, the most viral thing should pop up.
Put that in TikTok. Did something should pop up?
That's all I want to see.
I remember seeing the black girl saying that she was just like, yeah, I
cut
my mother off. I don't talk to her, all that stuff like that, and it went viral.
Yeah.
People were like, well, that's your mom. You should always love your parents. At the end of the day, you only get one mother. It's like that stuff happens. So like, I mean, I would have to cut this off to find it, but
yeah, I just want to see one example of someone saying something as basic and boring as that, and people like, oh my God.
Well, it wouldn't be. It would be like
it had to be more.
Family ain't always, blah, blah.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of spectacle.
It's still, and that will go. Family.
Decenter your mother.
So, that's a good.
Which is ridiculous.
That's a good way to say it though.
That's funny.
86,000 likes. So that's viral. If you
is she got 100K followers? That makes sense.
Well, from that though.
She got it from that. That's her whole persona.
Like if you go look at her videos, 1,500 views, 2,000 views, 974.
That's all new.
That's not her.
But she's also a creator. She's a content creator.
Everybody's a content creator now.
No. Okay, we're talking about two different things then.
We're not.
We're talking about content creators posting content. I'm talking about a normal civilian. If you're a content creator, you already have a following.
No.
You have a following.
How do they become a content creator? They're just some person that did some shit and and then they kept posting.
Hold on. Is that the first thing that she did that went viral?
Time out. Gary. First things first. You got everything wrong. When you become a content creator, you don't have followers. When I became a content creator, I did not have followers.
Yeah.
I grew a following.
I'm talking about content creators who have a following.
But here's the thing. A random person, the reason why people get followers is because they put out a nigga, listen to what I'm saying.
We're talking about completely different things.
We're not talking about completely different things. You're misconstruing what we're saying.
But even if you say an ordinary citizen, most of the
that's what I'm saying.
So most of the statuses I see on Facebook is just some person that posted some shit and then somebody shared it and somebody shared it and somebody shared it. They're not content creators. They're just a person. And
okay.
it's just the shit and then you'll read the comments and that person in the comments will be like, I didn't expect this to do this. I didn't expect this to go this far. It happens every day. Like every day.
You're talking about you're making a blanket statement, a overall general. I'm talking about this specific subject matter. That's what I'm talking about. So when you just let me finish. Let me finish. When you show me a video of something that got 86,000 likes from a person who has 100K followers, that makes sense to me.
Now
you're not understanding. You're not understanding what he's saying.
Is that video the video that made her pop, or did she already have the following and then post that video and now it's just like running its course? It's a normal thing.
When I looked on it, the video's old, so I can only assume that we can only go off
I'm not making assumptions. I'm not making assumptions.
That's what we have to go off of, nigga. What are you talking about?
I want do the work. You're telling me,
but you're already denying the fact that this happens. So you're not even trying to be open to the fact that some random nigga can just be like, you know what, family ain't shit, blah 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 blah, and that goes viral. You're like in denial about what goes viral.
I'm not in denial about anything. When you tell me that people can just post,
nigga, you want us to search fucking Facebook and find the exact post we're talking about? That's crazy.
You're saying it as though
that's crazy.
You're saying it when you say it's a normal thing.
It is.
It should be easy to find.
We're not saying that.
No, you want this specific thing to be found.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nigga, that's what I'm talking about. You know how long that's going to take to find that?
It shouldn't take a long time to find it if it's easy. If that shit just goes viral.
I just showed you a video.
And you argued that.
From a woman.
So now we got to do more work though. So you want more work and more work and more work.
Let me tell you what let me tell you specifically what I was talking about. What I was saying, when you say that people could just post that they cut their parents off and it goes viral. So I'm expecting a normal person to post that they cut their parents off and that went viral. Not a person who has 100,000 followers going viral off a post saying that she cut their parents off. When you say it, I'm thinking that anybody does it. A normal, regular person with 3,000 followers post that and that goes viral. That's what I'm saying.
And we're telling you that's what happens, nigga.
And I said, show me.
We have to go find that.
Where's my phone?
Go download TikTok.
If it's a viral video, it should be easy to find.
No, here's the thing. I just showed you the video. And it was easy to find. I just showed you the.
But that's a person who already has a following.
But you're not understanding. We don't know if they had that following already, though.
So now we're just making assumptions then.
You're making an assumption too that's saying they already had the following.
I'm asking a specific question. I'm like, who goes viral off of this stuff?
Everybody. Oh my God, nigga.
But you don't know. You don't know because you're just seeing the video and you're just saying that anybody can go viral, but you don't know the backstory of who this person is. That's what I'm saying. If that makes sense.
I just told you, every day on Facebook, you'll see a status about some random shit. It could be spaghetti, nigga. You'll see a random thing.
I'm not talking about spaghetti. I'm
talking
about parents.
But that's the thing. In general,
I know random things go viral. I'm aware of that. So
why are you so hard? Why is it so hard?
About this.
So if you know that anything can go viral, why are you in denial that this can go viral?
Because I don't believe that this specific thing can go viral.
How if anything can go viral?
Because that's not interesting. It's not silly. It's not dumb.
Spaghetti is viral?
You can make spaghetti interesting. But
having a family beef can't be interesting?
Not to the masses.
Nigga,
Nigga,
I don't like.
Okay,
A normal person saying,
I know what he's doing. I know what he's doing.
A normal person saying,
you got it. No,
a normal person saying, I don't like my. Just show me.
No,
you got it, man.
Show me the video.
No, you want to argue. That's fine.
Yeah.
No, I want to see the video.
No, you don't. You want to argue.
Yeah.
If you said you believe how spaghetti can be interesting, but a family beef can't, nigga, you want to
I don't know the context, nigga. Everything requires context. What is it about the spaghetti? It has to be something interesting.
So it has to be something about the family beef, right?
It has to be something interesting. Just me saying that I cut my mom off is not interesting.
Most shit ain't interesting, but people get into it. I'm not interested in half shit.
I can't make that argument. I'm talking about this specific thing.
All right, this person has lower followers, nigga. She has 23 and she has 1 million views on this, and she went no contact with her mother. You see what I'm saying? It's like you're gonna keep moving the goalposts.
I need to see.
You can't.
The video, nigga.
That's the video, nigga. What are you talking about?
So let me see it.
What are you talking about then?
I'm trying to watch the video, nigga.
You gotta watch the whole video.
I'm trying to see if there's anything interesting about the video.
No. Now you're changing your stance. Now you're changing your stance.
No,
first you said I don't see how that can go viral. Now I think, well, what about it's gonna go viral? Well, why is it?
Hey,
this is if it goes.
The question started is, can something about your parents go viral? Yes or no?
No. It said it said can I go online and say that I cut my parents off and it go viral? So I'm trying to watch the video now.
What does the caption say?
Let me watch the video now,
nigga.
So now I'm saying why did it go viral? And I'm like, oh, I get that.
So you just want to understand why? That's a different thing.
I'm saying
it's a whole different thing.
Your original. Wait, when they watch this, when they watch this, they're gonna see.
Can I just watch the video?
You can watch it. You can watch it
in silence.
You can watch it.
This nigga's insane.
It's not insane.
It is, bro.
Context.
That wasn't the original statement.
That wasn't the statement, nigga.
That wasn't the original statement. The original statement was that's going to viral.
Let him have it. Go ahead. Start from the beginning. Put it to the microphone so they can hear it.
She's British.
This nigga.
Stop, nigga.
Hold on, let me watch it.
Yes, we're sorry.
Let me watch it.
Here's what no one tells you about that experience. Everyone said she was absolutely lovely. Behind closed doors, she chipped away at me slowly, with silence, guilt, control. I was always the problem. If I cried, I was dramatic. If I spoke up, I was disrespectful. I didn't grow up feeling safe. I grew up afraid of setting her off at any possible moment. When I went no contact, it wasn't
speed this shit is slow.
My grief. It was grieving the mother that I always wanted her to be, and actually accepting the one that she actually really truly was. If you're questioning your own story right now, I see you. You are not ungrateful.
See, this is not interesting to me at all.
To me,
this is boring as shit.
Her talking about this, I'm wondering why this one went viral. I'm expecting you to be getting beat. You're mad. You got. Your mother was mean to you, and you got 1.1 million views. But you know why it went viral? It's because a lot of fucking parents, or a lot of people that had parents, they felt what she felt. They were like, "Oh, my mother treated me this way." So they go off that and they go, hey, this is what it is.
This woman's a content creator.
Here's the thing. I don't know when that video came out, right?
So that's fine. If a content creator posts something that goes viral, that's fine.
But also too,
I'm with that. I was talking about ordinary people.
We know what you're talking about. You just don't want to believe that.
But here's the thing.
These are all content creators.
But everybody becomes a content creator once you put content online. That's the thing. So you can't. So this girl, let's say it doesn't matter if she's a content. Listen what I'm saying. I gave you a time, right? If a person goes on here, and this is what we talk about all the time. If she goes on here and this person has 300 followers, which happens all the time, right? They drop this video. This video does 1 million views, 3 million views. You know what happens? They now might get 20,000 followers or 50,000 followers. And when they start to put out more content, everything starts to become...
I know how growing works.
Okay, then.
I know
they were a regular person.
We don't know when the video was dropped. But at the same time, that's point one. And point two...
That's not a point.
Point two, they're content creators. We said anybody. You said anybody can go on. So I'm thinking anybody.
Anybody can.
But what we're talking about now is content creators. These are content creators. These are people who create content. Bro, when you say anybody to me, I'm thinking your average Joe, your person who is not invested in the system.
You're going to go somebody that's a content creator now.
When you say anybody, that means anybody to me. That's all I'm saying.
You completely missed this point.
Then change the wording. Don't say anybody. Say content creators can go online and post anything.
You're not understanding what he's saying at all.
Nigga, People
He's saying they weren't content creators at first.
Nigga,
we don't know that. You can't prove that.
But you're trying to prove you can't prove they're content creators.
You can't prove that.
So you can't make the statement that anybody
You can't
can
either.
do it.
You can't either.
I'm saying you can't say anybody if it's not anybody. You have to prove that it's anybody. I didn't make the fucking statement.
How do you prove it then, nigga?
I didn't make the statement.
How do you prove it?
You can't prove it. So if you can't prove it, you can't say it.
This nigga's
period.
This nigga's insane.
If you can't prove it, you can't say it.
Like you said, Jets, we're sorry, dog.
No, that has nothing to do with anything.
It has everything to do with everything.
Don't say anybody if you can't show me anybody.
We just showed you somebody.
Say content creators.
I just showed you 2 different videos.
Say content creators.
I just showed you 2 different videos. They're not content creators. You're assuming everybody's a content creator.
My first
what are you talking about?
Post on TikTok, nobody knew who I was. Okay. The thing did millions of views. I got 100,000 followers immediately. Okay. I was just a person to them. They didn't know me at all.
Now he's a content creator.
Now I became a content creator on TikTok. Okay. I wasn't a person.
Me, I didn't come out as a content creator. I just started throwing shit out there.
Throwing shit out there.
Right.
So anybody can go viral off that.
So you're telling me two comedians were not content creators.
When
two comedians did not start posting content.
People did not know who I was.
With the intention of being a content creator.
Them people didn't know who I was. To them, I was a regular person.
So both things can be true.
I was a regular person.
Both things can be true.
When I first was on social media,
but I wasn't say anybody.
I wasn't a comedian first. When I was on MySpace, when I was on Facebook, when I was on all these other platforms besides IG and TikTok, I already became something.
We were just
so what are you talking
posting,
about?
And then the post hit. Nobody knew who we were. We didn't have the following.
I stand firm in my.
Well, we know that. Yeah, that's evident.
You cannot say anybody if it's not anybody.
It is.
Everybody's anybody. If you don't have now, if Kev on stage, Tony, whatever. If we go viral now, that of course. Yeah. But when people start following and they have no following. And some shit hits, that's anybody.
I know how that works.
But
I understand how that works.
Here's the thing.
I'm talking about your parents cutting you or you cutting off your parents. That's how this whole thing started. I don't give a fuck about how to grow your following or how to be or whether or not you are a content creator.
But then you said you see how spaghetti can go viral, but you don't understand.
No, I'm saying I see how interesting content can go viral. When you say that you cut your parents off, that's not interesting to me. We just said that wasn't interesting.
There it is.
That's what it is.
That's it.
That's not interesting to you.
So I said, show me. So when you show me, it's content creators.
At that point, we don't have to show you shit anymore. You have a personal thing.
Yeah, you're already saying that can't happen.
Being interesting.
You're already stuck in that can't happen.
I'm stuck in.
Is it possible?
I'm stuck in not anybody can just go viral.
To you.
Off talking about I cut off my mom.
Exactly. To you.
So you have to show me that.
To you.
And nobody showed me that.
That's just the thing. You want us to go through. You want us to go through and try to find.
No, I think
even when I went on
Facebook.
Even when I went on Facebook and typed that sentences, just the people I follow popped up. The random shit didn't pop up. I come across shit on my timeline on accident.
Yeah, but you don't.
And it's just, and I go in the comments and they be like, I didn't think this was gonna hit. I just posted some shit. Blah blah, and it'd be the most mundane, random things that ain't interesting to me, but for some reason, people found it interesting.
Right.
So having a family beef, cutting off your parents, cutting off your sister, cutting off your brother, whatever. Somebody somewhere obviously would be like, oh. I find that interesting for it to go viral because who the fuck?
Here's the thing. To me, having a family beef is hella interesting. It makes perfect sense. With all the shit that goes viral, people love drama. Drama and sex sell more than anything.
This episode is gonna hit.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
People love it.
Drama and sex sell probably more than anything.
Every time. Half the shit on the internet ain't even real.
But you have to be invested in the character. Unless the story.
Nigga, where are you at right now? Who do you think we're talking about?
Why would I care? Why would anybody care?
No. Say what you know. Start over. Why would I care? That's what this is.
And I'm speaking for that.
You can't step out of yourself and understand how everybody else works.
All right,
go ahead. Why do you care?
Everybody else works.
It doesn't matter.
It's not us. It's not how we think. We already know we're different.
We're not listening.
But you're not listening.
Go ahead. Let me have it. Go ahead.
We're talking about different things, and it's just a general miscommunication in how I interpret someone saying anybody. That's all I'm saying. But when we talk about anybody, it's more specific than that. And if we're not clicking to do the analytics and see, oh, how did this thing pop or when did this pop, then we can't make assumptions that anything can just.
But I just gave you an
that
example,
anything is surrounding the subject of like, oh, I cut off my family, like, and that's how basic we put it. It was that very basic statement. I cut off my family, and that went viral. That's what I took. That's what I took from that.
That's okay. I honestly, but that would be a you problem at that point. We were talking about the subject matter of cutting off your parents.
Yeah.
You got stuck on I cut off my parents in the video. How would that be interesting?
Right. So I wanted to see.
That's your issue at that point.
I wanted to see how people are making that interesting, making that subject matter interesting with no following and something interesting enough and captivating enough to just blow up.
Now it has
I
to
didn't
be
say that.
interesting.
I said not anybody's just post. I said not anybody. Speaking specifically, I'm not talking about content creators.
But just we're saying
that's what I'm talking about. So we're just talking about
most of the
different
posts. But I already addressed that, and you didn't want to hear it.
Hear what?
I already said most of the posts I see are just random people that just posted some shit.
How do you know that though?
Because I go on their page. I just told you in their thing. They're like, oh shit, I didn't know this was gonna hit like that. Viral content creators don't say, I didn't know this is gonna hit. We're posting on the in the intention that it's gonna hit.
But here's
I would need examples.
But here's
well, of course you would, because you just don't want to, like, when you are
people
searching.
Just be saying shit.
But
People
when you just want to
things.
fight it, you just want to fight it.
I'm not fighting it. I'm just asking for
here's the main
for
issue.
empirical data.
The main issue it's not about empirical data, bro. You're not on social media. You know nothing about social media like that.
I'm on social media.
But what I'm saying is you're not on social media actively. This is the reason why when we had discussions.
What do you mean by actively?
Can I finish what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You kept cutting me
Well, you
off.
just said I'm not on social media. I am on social media. So that
okay.
that. So
we had
listen.
Listen to what I'm saying. We had an internal discussion before about other things, about how things go viral online, right? About how you set up videos, about how when you was cutting videos up front, you was making you put like a lot of stuff up front because like people want to hear this whole long drawn out thing, and me and Keon would say, hey, we don't mind putting that in there, but
that was me being artistic. I wasn't thinking about going viral.
But we were talking about going viral.
Most shit going on viral is dumb, though.
The point of this was we were trying to get the clips to go viral, right?
Right.
We wasn't just putting out clips for an artistic standpoint. We're trying to build a following for this podcast. Bro, could you stop and listen to what I'm saying? Because
you're saying I'm not on social media, so I want to know how does that factor into
at that point in time.
You're refusing to believe the things we're saying
because
you don't see them.
At that point, you said yourself, I'm not actively on social media like that. I don't be on my social media.
What does that have to do with anything?
I have.
No.
I have
everything.
Hold on.
Yeah, I have it. No, I'm not done yet.
I have a social media. I'm not actively posting. I'm not actively posting.
You said you weren't on there either.
I'm on social media.
You said you weren't on there either.
I'm on social media.
I don't go on my YouTube. I don't post. I don't do things on my Instagram. I'm not on there like that. You said that.
When I say
when
people let me specify. I don't post a lot on social media. I am on social media.
So now when I make a point, and now he got to go into detail, or now I got to specify this.
No, I need to. No, just so you understand what I'm saying. I thought when a person said that they're not on social media like that, it means that they don't post like that. Everybody's on social media.
Everybody's
on social media.
Everybody's on social media.
That is not true.
I know a lot of people
not
not on social media.
I know a lot of people have nothing.
No, ain't no general.
All right, now we're just picking.
No, that's real shit.
This is nitpicking.
My sister-in-law is not on social media.
I'm saying. All right, that's true. I shouldn't generalize.
My sister-in-law.
A lot of many people are on social media. Many people are on social media without actively posting on social media.
What I'm saying is you're not actively on these social platforms.
But you can't. So what are you disqualifying? What are you trying to disqualify?
If you're not on social media actively watching videos like we do, we look for content sometimes. We search for content. People send us content.
You know that. You know that I'm not on social media.
You said you weren't. You said you don't fuck with social media like that.
And I just specified I don't post. That's what I specified. I just specified that. I don't post.
Okay. So do you have a TikTok?
Yes, I have TikTok, but I do not post.
You said you didn't have a TikTok earlier.
I have a TikTok. I do not post.
Okay, this is crazy. So now when I said pull up your TikTok, you said
what are you trying to disqualify? Can we get back to that point? That you're trying to disqualify something.
Stop.
So continue with the argument.
What I'm saying, dog. Stop. Just listen to what I'm saying. This is like, remember I stopped and let you talk?
Yeah, you're going around in circles.
I'm not going around in circles.
Get to the point.
I'm making a point. What I'm saying is, you said you didn't have a TikTok. Now, so you're moving the bar.
You're switching the conversation.
If you're on social media, if you're on TikTok and you're watching videos,
I don't post on social media.
If you're watching,
what's the point you're making?
If you're watching videos consistently on TikTok, if you're watching videos consistently on any social platform, these things are going to most likely pop up. And you're going to see people say random shit that go viral. You're going to see people say shit that Keon said, hey, man, I don't know how this went viral. You're going to see, if you're consuming content the way we do, you're going to see that. I'm saying, I'm going off what you said initially, you don't consume social media like that. Now you're saying you do. So now you have to tell me, how do you consume?
So, yeah, keep it a buck. Are you actively on social media
and do you
scrolling?
Consume,
keep it a buck?
We're being very subjective with these terms. If you need the specifics, I do not post consistently on social media. How often are you even
scrolling and just watching people's shit?
I am on social media scrolling as, what do you want, like an hour amount that I need to be able to absorb this information that you're saying? Because I understand the information that you're saying. And I have
You're
seen that.
saying it's impossible, though.
I'm not. Did I say it's impossible?
You said a regular person.
We gotta watch this back. We gotta watch this back. I said regular people aren't just going viral.
And we're saying they are
on
this specific
talking
topic.
about this specific thing. I know random people go viral off random things. I'm aware that exists. I was talking specifically about this thing. And if a regular person does go viral off this specific thing, they're not a content creator. They're just a regular person. And then you're like, well, people become content creators because things go viral. So now that goes back to, okay, well, let me see, when did they post that video to go, did they go viral off that video before they built a following, or did they go viral off that video after they built a following?
But then
those things matter to me.
Okay. Then I gave you an example. But then I gave you an example, and I said, spaghetti is going to use it. I can see how that, but you couldn't. I'm
talking about this. Let's keep it on this. You can make a separate argument about that.
It's all together because how can you believe that can go viral, but you can't believe the other thing can go viral from a regular person? That's what I'm saying.
Just because of that.
And your answer,
because I want to see it.
And your answer was, I want to see it because it's not interesting to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's fine. You're not everybody.
I understand that.
So then why?
So I want to see the video.
Why is it so hard?
I just want to see the video.
Well, I think that's
all.
I
said post.
The issue would be is that, like, when something is interesting to other people, I can be like, hey, this shit is not interesting to me, but I can see how it goes viral.
Yes.
You go, hey, I can't see that.
Anything can go viral.
For some reason, Gary goes,
I don't see why that's so.
All right, so now
anything can go viral.
Now we're talking about something else. The frequency. Like, the frequency of that type of video going viral. Now we're talking about that.
That's different.
If that's different.
That's different.
That's whole different. That's fine.
Yes, I'm sure it's happened one time. Like, I'm like, is this a thing? Is this a consistent thing?
I wouldn't.
I don't know. We never said that. We just said anything can go viral. But here's the thing:
from a frequency standpoint.
No, you said anything. We're talking about this. I know anything can go viral. I'm talking about this.
And this has went viral.
This is what I'm talking. Like,
this went viral.
We've seen the grand scope of social media.
Earlier, you said cutting people off is trendy, which means you're seeing it.
Yeah, it's trendy. Yeah. No. The act of it is trendy.
But how would you know that is trendy?
Because I'm in the world. Like, people, this is the conversations that people are having.
So you never.
I'm not talking about social media wise.
So
I'm in the world.
You think people are only having these conversations in the world?
I'm sure people are posting it.
Okay, so that's all we're saying.
I'm sure people are posting it. What is that saying?
Okay,
I'm sure people are posting about cutting off their family. What is that saying? That's not saying that's going viral.
Well, people are talking about it. Like,
if you think it's trendy in the real world, what makes you think it wouldn't be trendy online?
I would think it would be trendy online from people who have a following, from characters that people care about.
I don't agree because I've seen
because I care about your story.
But here's the thing:
that's logical sense.
These people. I think that people, here's where I would agree about your story part, right? I will agree that people might hear the story and be like, this is interesting, and I want to now watch this, and that's why it goes viral. Usually that's why it goes viral. Right. I think what the issue was is when you heard the cutoff thing, all you went off was that statement, and that was it. And you're like, this is
that's what was said.
No. We were talking about the whole, the scope of
I wasn't talking about any of that. I was just talking about what was said.
So on that end, hey, we would have to dig in deep.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking about different things. That's all. We're just talking about different things.
I would say most videos are not like this. They don't go like this. Hey, I cut off my parents. Bye.
Right. And so I want to see how you made that interesting.
So what we're saying is like from that video
standpoint, the
subject
matter of cutting off family goes viral.
Exactly.
That's what we're saying. You try to zero in on if somebody just said, I cut off my brother.
I think
obviously there's more to it.
I think what it was.
Exactly.
I think what it was is hearing that piqued curiosity. I want to know, how does that go viral? Because on the surface, as it is, that's not how. I don't see how that goes viral. But what I guess the subject, that could go viral. But I want to see how. I want to see what people are saying, how they're twisting it, how they're making it interesting.
You could have asked that. You said, "Nah, that ain't happening." Nigga.
I said,
you could have asked that
based on what was presented, based on the subject. So I'll ask more questions. I'll ask more clarification in the future.
And then here's why I said what I said about you not being on social media like that and you not watching videos, because that would have nullified that point. If you're on social media, you would easily be like, oh, I watch.
You can't sit here and tell another man what he does and doesn't do. Only thing you can go off of is what he told you. I told you I'm not on social media. When I say on social media, I meant I don't post a lot. So maybe you should ask another question. Do you post a lot?
Maybe you should ask another question.
No. You present the statement, and if you need further clarification, ask for further clarification.
And we gave further clarification.
No. It's not we, nigga. I'm talking to you.
I'm talking
about right now. Yes.
Okay.
You didn't specify. Oh, you not being on social media means that like since you're not on it, you don't have a place to speak on how it works.
That's a strong statement. When you
so I'm saying if you're going to disqualify it, disqualify it.
I did, because when somebody goes, "Hey, I'm not on social media," I'll be like, "Okay, cool, they're not on social media." What I need,
clearly I'm on social media.
That nigga, I need a follow-up question.
And
when I asked you, I said, go get it. I said, go get on your TikTok thing because you about to get your phone, right? I said, go get on your TikTok. You said, nigga, I don't have TikTok. I said, okay.
I'm not on TikTok. When I say I'm not on something, it means I'm not posting. Obviously, I'm on shit, nigga. I'm a fucking comedian. Like, I'm on everything. I'm not posting. But when a comedian says they're not on something, they're not posting.
That's what that for sure means?
That's what it means to me.
Well,
that's what it means to me. So as for the questions.
The blanket statement was, I'm not on there, so that's why he took it that way. And I did too.
But y'all see me on it. Like you see my profile.
I don't see you on TikTok.
I post from the Wildly Inappropriate page. We're not talking specifically about TikTok. We're talking about social media.
No, but that's our page.
That's Instagram. That's da 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 da.
But I didn't know.
If I'm on our page, I'm on social media.
Yeah, but I didn't know you were on social media like that.
I don't know what like that means, man. Like I don't post actively,
but I didn't even know
consistently
you were
on social media.
I didn't even know you were watching social media. Once you say I'm not on social media, I'm not on it.
Then ask. Then don't assume anything.
I'm not
like,
on it.
When a nigga tells
But also, I think it goes into why he feels that way is because a lot of stuff you'll say, you'll be like, no way that's happening. And we're always like, yeah, that's definitely happening because we're on it a lot.
I think I mean like on a grand scale. By the time I speak on something, it would need to be to a level that is like, oh wow, that's like, whoa, that's a lot. But it's different things to different people.
Like we see so much every day, like everything is on there. Like everything is happening. So every time you say, no way people there's no way women, and we're like, yeah, we see it every day. All the time. We see it every day.
And then now we have to get down. We got to break down analytics to you. It's just like, that's why I go. If you were on, you would just see it yourself.
You would just see this shit.
I am
it's
on
there every day.
I do see.
So why do you make so many no way that's happening statements?
I want to see how it's happening.
Well, go see.
Go
I don't
research.
know. I just know I see it. I don't know why or how.
When I say something with that level of like conviction, yeah, then I would feel like I need to be able to present shit. That's why I don't just say shit. Like I would need to be, you're on it. You see like break it down.
It's like,
but that's what I'm saying. You want proof when the proof is if you're just on it, you just see it.
Right.
Nobody. We're not. Nobody's
I'm not saving these videos and being like, man, when I present
one
this to
day
Gary,
somebody's gonna say,
nigga, it's
but I think
social media.
I think there's context to everything though, which is why I take the extra step. I don't just scroll past if I'm intrigued by it. But I want to see like what is this.
But even to Keon's point earlier, when it comes to just
because that's how you learn.
When just labeling somebody a content creator out the gate too, it's just like the reason why I don't is because it's like I've seen so many people be like, I'm not a content creator. They still have regular jobs. So I would have to ask you this question then.
Yeah, what's a content
and be like,
creator?
what to you is a content creator? Is it once you upload a video, you're now a content creator?
No.
Is it what would it be? You would have to give me the details now so we can. So
I would say if you look on someone's page and like for example, old girl that you just showed me, and it's just like close up, like all the same thing, just for like rows and rows and rows. Just like her posting like this same style video with the level of consistency and sort of the thumbnails, etc. And then I would say probably like for followers, probably like 10K followers, 10K-ish. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then that level of consistency right there, I'm like, oh, that's a content creator.
Okay, so if this person, because what happens is on TikTok, right? People start to watch things. They start to be like, okay. How do I become a content creator? Because some people just post regular people, right? Now we would have to go to her.
I just want to know if this is specific to TikTok only.
Just in general, right? Okay. Because one, content creators is not just the close-up type of content. But even with that style that you just said too, I would have to scroll to the beginning of her page and to see how she was posting. Because if she was posting,
I do that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So we didn't have time to do that right now. We're having this discussion, right? We had to find all the videos where people talk about their parents like that. Say, I'm cutting off my parents. We have to go to all their videos and see if they were content creators at the beginning when this stuff was happening.
So that's my process.
And did they become a content creator?
That's just my process.
Okay, so that's why I told you to go on TikTok. That's why I told you to go on TikTok and check, because it's like
specifically TikTok, only TikTok.
But you said that's your process before you made a statement. But you made a statement that they were content creators out the gate strongly. After seeing the videos that were presented,
you didn't scroll down to all her videos.
They're content creators.
Yeah,
we didn't know.
I was trying to come on board with the overall statement. I was trying to get on board with that.
I know,
with that caveat that they're content creators.
When he showed you, you said, "Oh, they're content creators," but we don't know that. We don't know that though. Because we didn't have time to scroll through.
We didn't scroll. Okay. We didn't scroll.
You can't enable them content creators.
So either. I would say would it be safe if you had to make an assumption of a video about your parent, about cutting off your parents, it's a viral video, and we would also have to like discuss what classifies a viral video. So it's a viral video. Would it be safe to assume that person is a content creator?
For me, no.
Okay. For me, it would be
because I just see so many random people, and then even if you look at the followings, right, 100,000, okay. 23,000 on TikTok, you can get 23,000 in a day
off one video.
So it don't 100,000. I mean, like I said, I got 100,000.
So I would need the combination of the consistency and then
it's a bunch of things before they're labeled a content creator.
But the hard thing about gauging stuff too now, once a video has went viral, is that in some cases other videos that are older start to get more views. So now you can't even tell, hey, when this video popped, it's like a video from 3 weeks prior to that might have got another 15,000 views because they went back and watched that. Because that happens with us all the time. We have old videos go because a new video went. So now you can be like, well, this video went. So this video did 20K. It's like
they were just regular people that a video hit, and then now all their videos are hitting, and then now they're like, well, maybe I can keep doing this. You know what I mean? Like,
and what happens?
They were working at TJ Maxx before.
And what happens sometimes on social media, right, is that people, especially I'll say off the men and women videos that people mostly do, right? In most cases, them niggas would just they'll go that route and be like, oh shit, this is what's hot. So now I'm gonna stay trendy on this. Yeah. Even with this particular girl, if we went down her videos, she probably started to do a story time. She's probably started to break down in more videos that about her parents or her mother that she's not cool with no more. Started to probably get traction because she's like, oh, this is what's trendy to people, so I'm gonna stay on this lane.
Because watching that video, she's extremely boring.
Boring as shit. And I would be like, how did this go viral?
I'm more interested in like, if she is a content creator, how, nigga? Because you are boring.
But in that sense too, you go but that's why I said I agree with you. It's just like we understood that the reason why you say when I cut my parents off, there's usually a follow-up statement behind it. We understood that, so I think that was where the disconnect was. It was like you said,
we're just talking about different things,
right? Yeah, and we're never gonna when I'm talking about a subject online, I'm never gonna be like a person.
It was never a one-off.
Yeah, it's brightening up a little bit, but it's never just like somebody just said spaghetti is nasty. And then the video is over. It's usually those type of videos are followed up with some type of either story or some type of background to where it's giving you something interesting or why people will watch it. That's why we said we know this is interesting and why it would go viral.
But the cool part is I wasn't even talking about videos. I'm on Facebook every day and I see these random people post
statuses,
a status that just takes off, and it's just thousands of shares, and it's the most random ass status, and it just takes off, and you're like, why? Like, why did y'all even? And a lot of it's bullshit. People made it up to go over. They just say some dumb shit, and then it hits, and then or anything that's started an argument or that's controversial, or So family beef is very relatable to a lot of people, and controversial. So statements like that will hit because that's just what people do, and they want to argue and they want to fuss and blah blah. And so anytime I say anything that can happen, there's been a collection of things that I see before I say this, and that. So it's never a one-off. A one-off is ridiculous.
And that's why I made my blanketed statement about you not being on social media, because that's how it is.
That's irrelevant.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's how it is. So it's not really irrelevant. It's
not irrelevant because of how hard, even though you've explained it now, but it wasn't irrelevant at the time because of how hard you'd be like, I just don't believe that can happen. And it's like, well, if you were on there, you could believe how it happened because we see it all the time.
And when I say I don't believe how something can happen, that means that I'm interested. I'm curious.
But I think you should state that too, though.
I want to see how that happens.
Those are two completely
so
different
when I say that, I'm like, show me how that happened.
But that's not even the same thought. That's like,
those are two completely different sentences.
You can't be like, I don't believe that. You got to be like, all right.
Well,
when you say I don't believe that, you're like, wait, hold on, how not? Why not? Especially if you say you believe how this can, but that can't. You're like, wait, what? So it's very confusing.
Those are two mutually exclusive, like, ideas.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking about a random thing, and I'm talking about, like, a very specific thing.
You would understand how I don't see that can happen. It's way different. I'm interested in how that would happen. Those are two completely. One is ain't no way. The other is that's a possibility.
Ain't no way show me. Ain't no way show me. Yeah.
Ain't no way. It's still that means it can't.
Yeah. That's
a line versus an interest.
That's like saying like there's no way. It's not possible.
Yeah. So show
you're
me.
a liar. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying that.
It's not even saying show you.
Yeah, you're like that's impossible.
Versus
I
didn't say impossible.
Well, if you say there's no way that can happen, what
I didn't say there's no way either. I said that's not happening. And when I say that's not happening, it means that's not happening like on a regular basis. It's not just a thing that is like a part of the zeitgeist that just like is like, I know, if I make a video about this, that'll go viral. Boom. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't think that it's like consistent.
Never know what's gonna go viral.
I don't think that's like consistent like that.
But
enough to make a statement that people are just posting this and it's going viral.
But so when you say that you can see how we can be or take things out of context or be confused
I think
by the things that you're saying when you're saying these things.
That's why we all need to ask more questions.
But sometimes it's not about us asking more questions. How about you?
I said we all need to ask more questions.
But in my sense, if you say something like, "Yo, I don't see how that works," or that's impossible, whatever it is, right?
Even those are different. If he says, "I don't see how that works,"
then I'll probably be like, "Okay, I'll show you how it works."
But once you say, "Nah,"
it's done.
So then you've dismissed it.
I'm like, all right, okay. There's no talking to this nigga.
No, that's not true. If something gets dismissed, what's the next course of action? Show him. Prove it. Then.
Not in all cases.
But he did. Like, you know an argument for that though.
Argument.
Yeah. So it wasn't an argument. It wasn't necessarily. It wasn't an argument. It was context.
It was context. This can't happen to now. Well, this is happening. Because
I said that's not happening like that. Like regularly like that. No, and you said that it is, and I said okay. There's a lot of different little subjects that are twisted. So when we say, because then we have to talk about anybody, then we have to talk about cut off as a subject versus cut off as just a mundane, basic presentation. Then we have to it's all these different little things.
You say things as if these things are you can't fathom that this could be a thing.
I can't fathom that it could be like a regular thing that's like popping. That's just like, because by the time you start talking about something on a public platform, you're saying it's presented in a way like, oh no, this is like common. So when you say it, I think that it's common, like it's a common occurrence. So that rarely or sometimes or occasionally this happens. Like when it's presented, I'm absorbing it as though it is common. So I need to specify as well on my part. Do you mean that it's happening like on a regular basis, like common? But then you can't switch anybody posting anything on anything random can go like, but it's like, no, I'm not talking about that. But I'm not talking about that. I know that that's a thing.
Here's the thing.
I'm talking about this thing.
What we said was with this specific thing, it went viral, right? Viral just means that video specifically went viral. It doesn't mean that everybody goes viral off this. It means that topic might have went viral for that person.
And sometimes things are just hot for a season.
Yeah, so it's like
this
I understand how all of that works.
Okay, so then your original statement comes off as you don't understand how all that works.
Exactly. I don't understand how that can be presented on a public platform if it's not a common thing.
Because so that goes back to his point, because I've seen it a lot.
You've seen people post about cutting off their parents?
Yeah. I mean earlier though, but you.
And I said regular, and I did say regular people.
Yeah, regular people. Like just the stuff I come across, especially on Facebook, aren't from people that I follow.
But it goes back.
So if it reaches you, then they're likely
no, it just went viral.
No,
okay. Yeah, it just went viral.
I'll say it would be safe to assume that.
No, here's the thing. I'll say this, Gary. And like I said, I understand.
That's why I tried to give the example of the person in the comments not even believing their shit go because they're regular.
Here's the thing. Let me say this. Here's why I talk about the TikTok thing. You keep saying that doesn't mean anything, and it does. Right? The reason why it does, TikTok specifically helps out people that are small and are not big creators.
That's what TikTok
That's
is
their
for.
thing. So on Instagram, you would have a whole different point where it would be like, all right, these are content creators on Instagram. Most of the time, if they're telling a story, it makes sense. If a small nigga that's on Instagram telling a story, it's probably gonna get 100 views and it's dead. On TikTok, they go, wait a second,
gotcha.
This person has 100 followers. We can push this nigga to millions and millions of people.
Yeah, I get.
Okay,
you're over talking now. I get that whole. You said the first thing, and I got everything that you were saying. So with that,
I still wanted to finish my point though. So it's like that's all I was saying. It's like when I let you talk, and I was just like, I shut up. I didn't say nothing. I didn't cut you off. Let you have it. So all I'm saying, that's all I was saying was like, that's why I'm saying about the TikTok stuff. It's like, yo, this is where it is, and this is how a regular thing can go viral. A thing that's not regular can go viral one time.
Okay. So now you know what fixes all of that. You speak specifically to TikTok. You can't just say social media. You say TikTok. And that specifies on that platform, this type of thing is very, very common.
But keep it 100.
If
we said niggas do this on
you wouldn't
TikTok
move the
all
bar.
the time, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't say shit. I wouldn't say because I don't fucking know. I don't know enough about TikTok.
What do you know enough?
I don't know enough about TikTok.
What do you know
I know enough about Instagram, about Facebook, about YouTube. So
you're on Facebook regularly and you don't see random shit? Statuses?
I see random shit. We're talking about a specific thing.
Okay, on Facebook. On Facebook, you've never seen a cut off my mom, cut off my brother, sister. You've never seen
No. That? I see my brother post it every fucking day.
And he ain't getting no views?
Oh, shit.
Tell that nigga to make a video. I guarantee you it'll go, though, nigga.
She getting 2 likes. 1 comment.
From your mom.
With mom and Gary being like, yeah. But that's why I end up specifying. I said I seen it on TikTok.
I'm hyper specific.
And I specified TikTok. And if
I didn't hear that early on.
And that's why I said go to your TikTok. That's why I said those things.
I didn't hear that earlier. Earlier on, I heard, "Are you on TikTok?" Then that's when TikTok was introduced.
I said
to
go.
Me. I'm not sure.
Well, I said go check your TikTok because that's what I seen it on. And
okay.
And then
that's fine.
So,
but when you say social media, that implies all of social media. So I should be able to see it anywhere, not specifically TikTok, right?
I
should be able to see it anywhere.
I stand by my statement.
Okay.
I see it everywhere.
All right, he sees it everywhere.
Yeah,
I know TikTok specific.
No. I'll say that I saw it first on TikTok, but I've seen it on multiple platforms.
So then now the TikTok argument is invalid.
He only brought up that point for you saying regular people. He brought up TikTok because TikTok is specifically for regular people.
Okay.
That's all.
So why? But TikTok doesn't matter if you've seen it everywhere. So I shouldn't have to go specifically to TikTok.
No, he's not saying that. He was just saying you said regular people can't.
You wanted to see.
So he was just giving an example of
you
why.
You said that regular people can't go viral or they didn't go viral.
I said
he was saying this particular act is for regular people. So that's why he's saying that. But it can't happen on Facebook.
When I say it can't happen, I mean
too.
it's not happening like with regularity. It's not a common thing. If it's a common thing, then I stand corrected.
I just know what I see often. I don't
and
know.
We said viral. Viral might not necessarily be regular though.
That is true. And a lot of times it's the same status being posted multiple times.
Right. Irregardless of all that. Like what I'm saying is it happening regularly? If it's not happening regularly, then it's not even really something that we should be talking about.
I see it enough to where it's a topic.
Where you feel like it's a topic. Okay. All right.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't say anything if I don't. And
your metric for that may be different. It may be different across the board.
When I start seeing things multiple times, that's when something becomes a thing for me. Like, is this a thing? Not a one-off. A one-off is a one-off.
And then the discussion was really started because it's like cutoff culture, and cutoff culture is a thing in general. That's where this technically stemmed from even before we started the cameras rolling, was cutoff culture, people cutting off people, and this is the thing.
And then me trying to figure out what's so bad that makes you cut somebody off.
But we understood. It seemed like we all understood that cutoff culture is a thing that people,
whether social media or real life,
right?
We know that's a thing.
So that's why
we're like, why? How? Now we're getting to the questions.
Right. So now it's just like, what's the confusion about like how is this? If you're saying cutoff culture from your parents specifically, why would that not be a thing? Yeah. Where if cutoff culture in general is a thing. That's where my confusion came in. But
so now I want to know why. Why people? I don't know. I can't see. So Keenan, in your specific example, you didn't cut your parents off. Why not?
I mean, I wanted to. Like when it came specifically to my dad, when I was going through that stuff, I wanted to, but nigga, I didn't have shelter. So it was like, if I cut this nigga off, I'm homeless.
But most people do it as an adult. You became an adult.
When I became an adult, what happened was my dad started to kind of work on things, and when I started to have conversations with him and be like, okay, My dad actually is trying to get better. I actually learned his background a little bit more, and he's telling me like, all right, I said it before on this time multiple times, it's like he was doomed the way he was raised. So it's like I started to have grace for that. Now I could have had no grace, but like, hey, nigga, tough luck, nigga, that ain't my problem. But for me personally, I was just like, all right, I can see how you did things this way and thought it was the correct way. If this is how you think, this is how you fucking raise children. I'm gonna give you grace. Then I did my own help. I did my own therapy. My dad did therapy. It was just like we're able to have these discussions. We're able to laugh about this shit now.
What made him want to go to therapy?
I mean, I think it was a lot of different things from when I talked to him. One was the stuff that he did with us, his own alcoholism, his childhood, and being in the military and being in
cancer.
I think it was before that.
Okay.
So like when my dad was in the military. So when they offer you, I guess, free military at the VA. Right. I mean, free therapy at the VA. He was opposed to it, and I think it was like, all right, if you want VA benefits, you got to do these particular things to get the benefits. So he was going there, and all those things like, oh shit, this is kind of like, it's kind of self-healing. I'm kind of feeling something here. And then he started to go, and then the other stuff started to happen. But he was having those discussions with me about, oh, son, you know, I have these regrets. I'm like, and I was saying, nigga, don't have no regrets after learning whatever. But I was just like, hey, but if, you know, I don't know what you laughing at. Go ahead.
I just had a thought. Fuck, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna.
You're dark. All right,
go
ahead.
Do it.
Go ahead.
We gotta build that up again, and then I'm gonna walk off, and that'll be the whole. He walks off from the show.
What?
We can't do it now.
We can't do it.
I mean, you got him a few times. You already got him to spin.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah. That's true. And then y'all gotta have like a whole.
We can use that for a clip though.
Yeah, that'll be hella fun.
Like the people watching the episode, that'd be a great clip. Gotta be a great clip.
Well, fuck it.
But you hear Gary spinning in the background. But I mean, yeah. So that was
matter of fact, we could put Gary walks off as a clip.
Yeah, that'd be
and
hilarious.
then make people watch the episode.
Yeah.
But I mean, so for me specifically, that
don't
is.
edit this out either.
Yeah.
Let them see the process of our bullshit trying to get.
Oh, and the long version.
Like, watch this shit, nigga. Look what we have to go through for y'all to fucking watch. We are having great episodes, and we got to put this bullshit out so it goes viral and grab people that can't believe it can happen. So new niggas will watch this shit.
And trust me, none of the energy that we displayed up
There's
front.
no way a podcast can go viral.
This nigga. Shit. Oh man, you know what's funny? We couldn't plan that if we wanted to. That whole energy up front, we couldn't plan that shit. No. That was just, but I mean, that was, I guess that was my point of why I didn't cut off my dad, was because it's like, and even with my mom, it's like, I guess at the end of the day, I always looked at death, right? So for me, I say to myself, can I cut off my parents or anybody that I'm cool with? Not just my parents, even y'all, right? Can I cut y'all off and be cool with y'all dying and having that energy, or even me, I'm on my deathbed and being like, damn, nigga, I didn't get a chance to make amends with these people. Mm-hmm. That's where my thought process usually comes about when it comes to cutting somebody off. If I can cut you off and be like, I don't give a fuck if you dead, nigga, then that's what it is.
Does that happen for you often?
Often? Oh, absolutely not. No. Now that I got older, when I was younger, yeah, I can be like, nigga, man, fuck this nigga. I don't give a fuck if you think he even dies. Yeah. But at this age, I've became more sensitive for sure. Like, I don't care about a lot of shit, but then I do care about the life of people more, in a sense, of life and death anyways. So it's like I've seen so much death in the past, like, decade, family, friends, whatever, to where I'm just like, dog, like, this shit is precious. And then watching what people's families go through. Yeah. And being like, nigga, I would never wish that on any fucking body.
So when it comes to family and real friends, not acquaintances, real friends, what's your cutoff stance? Have you done it?
I've never cut anybody off.
No, never.
In life, you never...
Not deep.
What is cut off to you though? What do you consider cut off or not?
You don't fuck with them. Like okay, so example I gave off camera, you guys weren't here for. I said when you see people be like, I ain't talked to my sister in 6 years, and I'd be like, I can't fathom that. So have you?
So when I say cut off, I mean like a falling out, like a confrontation, and then we no longer speak after. Yeah, that's cut off to me.
That's the same.
Okay. I've relationships have fizzled out. Like if I don't like, I've had friends that I like wouldn't say that I particularly liked or cared for, but I'm not cared for, but like I didn't particularly like anymore as we like grew up or whatever. Yeah. But I would still say that they're like, I just don't really talk to them as much. I can still see the function of like our relationship and how it fucks, just on a much lower scale.
So
for me, it's more like a scale.
So
like,
cutoff, I think
cutoff. I don't think I've never like
think it means the same thing. Cutoff means I don't fuck with that person. And consciously do not fuck with that person. Like don't talk to me. Blah blah blah. So I
don't do that.
Yeah, I don't either. Especially not a fam. I don't see how I could be like I don't talk to my mom or my dad or my brother. Like I don't talk to them like intentionally. You know what I mean? Like I don't see how that happens.
I see a lot of white people do it over politics, and that shit is hilarious to me. It's hilarious.
I can only go off video that I've seen them do that, but like I don't talk to my parents because they're a Republican or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I've seen it in real life, but no black people was always.
Yeah,
but I you know what, that I understand. I get it because. And I think it's deeper than the politics. I think you get to an age and you had this regard for these people, and you find out they're not that, and it's like a punch in the face. Like I thought the people that raised me were these great people, and then I get older and you're this, and I could see how that happens because I don't even think you're angry. I think your life is a lie. You know what I mean? Like I think that's how it happens. It's like you lied to me.
Yeah.
You or my hero or my whatever is not what I thought it was, and
but I look at stuff like that.
I'm processing.
I look at stuff like that, and then I go, what about so many people that didn't cut their parents off that were molested by a parent or their parents or an aunt or uncle, and they still have a relationship with them, and they're even cool with them, and it's just like
I think that's a personal journey or strength. I don't know if I can do that.
What I'm saying is when I look at that, I go like. So I know I grew up with people that like something has happened to them like that, and they're like cool with that parent.
Yeah.
Not like oh like hey man, it's like a weird relationship. Like nah, me and my dad's like I mean I was young, and it's like oh they're like 35 now, and just like like I'm not. I don't know. Maybe some type of like something happened to where it's like
or something.
It could be that, or it could be even some like maybe the parents dying, so just like. It's not worth them. It's not worth me having this issue with them, and I'm about to lose them. But I have seen to where in a point where it's like, like it was like on some like molesting stuff, and it was just like
that's crazy.
They're still cool with it, and they didn't cut that parent off, which I would think that to me that would be immediate ground to be like, especially when you got older, be like, nigga, I'm 21 now. Fuck what you talking about, bro? What do you mean? Go take out the trash when I come to your house, nigga. I should beat your ass. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think we talked about this off camera earlier, but me and Keenan where Gary was brushing teeth or something. I think
I was on social media.
When you get older and you become an adult, I think there's two different avenues. Some people be like, nah, I'm old enough, I got a voice, fuck you. Some people go the route of, now that I'm older and understand more,
right,
I kind of feel bad for you. I give a grace to you because your childhood was fucked up, or your thing was. So you start to understand. I went through moments with my dad when I was younger. It'd be like, this nigga is insane. Like this nigga, he's annoying. Blah blah. You get older, you talk to him. Now it's to a point where like, shit, I see why he do that. I see, and now I'd be like, man, it's whatever. Because the understanding is different. Granted, he never did anything cutoff worthy to me, but I think that's the two routes that people go. It's either I finally get a voice, fuck you, or you give grace because you understand more as an adult. Because being an adult is hard as shit, especially if you didn't have a good foundation to go from.
We talked about that extensively in the car.
Oh, y'all did?
About do you check in with yourself on a consistent basis of like kind of taking stock of how you're doing as a father, or do you ever have moments where you're like, I'm not a good dad? Do you ever feel that?
Yeah.
Do you ever have those moments?
I think everybody, every real parent does that, especially when and then it gets worse when you get old because now you're like, did I do everything right? You're seeing your child as an adult. Like my dad, that's all he do now.
Mm-hmm.
Did I? He asks way more questions than he ever asked. Did I? Y'all think?
But what does that look like for you
now in the current time? In the moment, every time, like I shouldn't. Now my thing is, if I do something in the moment, quickly trying to make sure everything's good because I don't want down the line. Dad, remember that time you blah blah? You know what I mean? Because I want to be regarded as. Now, Keelan told me not, ironically or coincidentally, I don't know which one fits better.
Coincidentally.
But like 2 days ago, he's like, "Dad, you're just a good dad. You're just the best." And for me, I was like, "Woo!" You know what I mean? Because he just said it out, and he was like, "You're just the best dad, man. You're just really cool and funny, and we like you." And I was like, "All right, bet."
Yeah.
Because I be, we overanalyze everything as parents, and I'd be like, I shouldn't have reacted like that. Like, I'd be wanting to be perfect, which is stupid.
Okay, so he feels it.
You know what I mean?
Which is trying to be perfect.
He was saying
it's completely stupid.
I've never felt
that way.
Oh yeah, it's so dumb.
Because I was asking, because I was like, I feel like I would be questioning those. I'm not a parent yet, but I was like, I feel like I would be questioning some of those things. Just because it's like I looked at, I guess, how my dad looked at it, and then I'd be like, damn, it's like I feel like if I'm watching my kid and it's like, yo, they're doing pretty good and they're progressing pretty well, I'm like, kind of killing it.
Yeah.
But if you see something, I'll be like, all right, am I giving them all the right lessons? Especially raising a young boy to a man. That was my whole thing too. Talking to him was like, I know it's kind of young for Pilot to be like, all right, I'm not sure yet, but he's like, I'm not really thinking about it for real.
I never thought about it.
Yeah, I think about it, but it's not a point where I'm questioning myself. I think I'm killing as a dad, but I still just want to do the best I can.
And then we got to the point of like, he was just like, well, essentially like, nigga, I'm here. So
he's on bonus time. He has 5 years with his dad that I didn't have with my dad. Yeah, so he's on pace to at least be a PA.
Our perspective is different too.
He's gonna at least be a physician's assistant.
Right.
With the foundation that's been set for him. I can dip now, and right now we're on surgeon. we're on surgeon time.
So, and that matters. Our perspectives of what I'm trying to be better than my dad was.
Yeah.
I'm
already.
Yeah, you already
5 years
won.
better than my dad.
So you were drafted into a franchise that had zero.
I'm playing with house money, right? I'm playing with house money.
We just make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm playing with house money right now.
My franchise is like, nigga, we have 18 championships. Like, I gotta.
Oh no,
you're the Lakers, Celtics.
Yeah, you're OKC and the Pacers. You're like, nigga, we here. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
we already won.
Yeah. So mine is definitely very, being a really really good dad and really and just not. You know what it is too? It's not even me. It's seeing social media and how fucked up everybody is. And I don't want to have a fucked up kid. So that's why I'm always questioning what I'm doing.
Like what?
Just how, like you said, when you comment sections, people bring their traumas. I don't want my kid to be that person that's losing their shit because their childhood was fucked because of some shit I did. And they're going to have issues anyway. That's just going to happen. But that's my goal is to bring this adult into the world and you not be that adult that's walking around every day angry or sad or fucked up or what I mean. That's my more concern. I know I'm gonna be a good dad. I know I'm gonna be there. But having you go out into the world and be able to be chilling. You know what I mean? Like just be out there like, all right, well, yeah, I don't want them carrying the shit that I see people carrying every day because of their parents. Which led into the cutoff thing. Like people. The older we get, the more shit I see, the more people I talk to. I'm like, God damn, y'all childhoods was fucking wild. And I don't want my kid to have to be one of them people. So that's why I take the fatherhood. That's why I take so much self-analysis to make sure I'm doing a good job to where when they become adults, they're like, nah, my childhood was chilling, bro. I was good. I'm not carrying any weird shit with me because of stuff that was done.
Which to no fault, I would argue, no fault to like those generations and those kids at the time, because people just have a very difficult time, especially specifically the Black journey in this country. Obviously, like the history, but it's just very, very difficult. And I think back to like what really triggers me is when I get in, like we're in a rush for something and I get impatient. And then I see my mom come out of me. Like I ain't got time for nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. Like let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go.
So you consciously try not to be that?
Try not to be that.
Yeah.
But then, understanding that that's who she was, 24/7.
Yeah.
Like she was always, everything was a rush. Everything was let's go right now. Like I saw you didn't have time to be heard. And that was kind of the biggest thing for me is like making sure that I am an open door so they can always be heard.
That? How are you?
I just I talk a lot, I ask a lot of questions. I'm really engaged with them. And I listen a lot. And I try to be as present as I can when I'm with them, you know?
So is it a voicing thing or is it actual time thing as well?
It's what do you mean?
Because you're saying we didn't have time, so I didn't have time to talk, or say, because this is what I'm asking. Because like, for example, when it comes to time, right? Especially when kids get older, they have schedules.
Yeah.
So I feel myself being like, hey, because we gotta move, right?
Yeah.
But it's not that they can't talk. It's
right.
just we gotta move.
It's just we gotta move.
So I'm asking, are you talking about we gotta move?
I'm talking about when we gotta move.
Okay.
When we got let's go.
Okay. So one thing I've been doing since they've gotten older, and you're not there yet because they're not old enough to do this.
Yeah, I'm not on social media either. Yeah,
no.
That's what it all goes back to, baby. Social media is king, baby.
No, you're not on TikTok.
They're not old enough yet. But what I've been doing to offset that now is, a timeline of like, hey guys, we're gonna leave in an hour. Get your bag ready now.
Good. Yeah, that's good.
Get your stuff ready now. Water bottle. So our new thing is, I know you're ready to go when all your stuff is by the door.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll hear Keelan being like, your stuff ain't by the door. You're not ready to go. So when I see all these bags, I'm like, okay, now y'all go fuck off. Go play, go. I know that you're ready to go now.
Yeah.
What I hate is when I'm like, we're leaving in 30 minutes, they ain't move. Hey, 15 minutes, they ain't move. Now it's where your shoes? Where your, I gave you time. So now our new thing is put it by the door, and that seems to be working real smooth.
Yeah.
And they're just older. So
just
it's
planning.
It's better planning and but also letting them do the planning versus me being like, yo, it's like, hey, I don't see your bags. Now I only have to give a gentle reminder versus, come on, man. So I'm like, hey, whose bag isn't by? Oh, let me get my stuff real quick. Because they get sidetracked. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let me get my stuff real quick and then go play. That's fine. So that's been working. And this is a newer policy, but it's been working like really well.
Solid.
Because I'm like, I didn't want to be, these kids, you be like, nigga, like,
hurry up.
Let's go,
like,
bro.
We woke up late this morning. Anytime we got a show, nigga, people are just waking up late. But we woke up late this morning, so it's like, let's go. And then Pilot wanted to show me something. Like, hey, let me show you. Like, I got time for that. We gotta go. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Yeah, let me see it.
So even with those, I've been trying to get better at, because Kendrick will do that. We'll be mid, and he want to show me a paint.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
always a painting.
And I'm like, we'll get to that. Do what I actually do first, and then we'll do that.
Yeah.
Like, just do it. So my thing is always, just do what I ask you to do. And then we can do every single thing
that you want to do.
You want to do. Just please do what I actually do first, and then we can knock out everything else.
Yeah,
I do that same thing with Janelle. We'll look at it later. That's all I can add to that, because it's like, but I would say in the sense of like how you say you had like your when you had those moments like your mom, whatever. My thing is when we're actually moving, like when we had to move, and how my dad talks, I've caught myself like, hey, we're ready to move, get ready to go. Like I was like, I got his tone, his voice, his body language, and I'm like, wait a second, I'm talking too aggressive. My dad used to be like, when we used to have to move, nigga, just to get your fucking ass, nigga, grab you like a dog, like a collar, get your ass over there. And I'll be wanting to be like, Janelle, get the fuck. And I'll be like, wait a second. Wait a second.
I can't do that.
One, you can't do that.
It's a crime.
But two, it's just like, I was like, all right, wait a second. Why am I even feeling this way? It's because maybe we're like an hour 8.
Okay.
It's like, why am I even feeling this way? It's like, okay, maybe because I didn't also plan stuff fully and get stuff. And that's like, all right, some of this is on me. So I can't, I'm taking my frustration out on her because I didn't get shit done quickly enough on my end, or I didn't plan better. So it's like, then I've been able to catch myself, which is why like I feel like, I've done a lot better, at least especially in recent times.
Yeah.
Have her put herself by the door, man.
And she's usually the planner too. So it's like
that planning, bro, that shit. Like when we went to Vegas, I think I held out too long to tell Jess about it, because I would get anxiety about telling her like I'm going on the road if things aren't like cool, if things are already like chaotic, and then I tell her I'm going on the road, like I'm like, fuck, that's gonna add to her.
Are you talking about when we just went?
Yeah, when we just went. So I waited too long to tell her, and then her sisters like planned on coming to town, and I was gonna originally take the kids with me to my mom's while her sisters was in town. But then since I was going to Vegas and her sisters coming around the same time, it was like, all right, well, maybe I'll just take the kids with me to Vegas, have my mom come out. So, but like that whole thing became like a huge thing, and I just didn't want to have the conversation. I was like, I'll just take the kids with me. Like, don't worry about it. I'll take them with me. But it was brought up, then it got brought up in therapy, and then nigga, I think that was one of the times I walked out of therapy, because she was just like, but what about this? But how do you you know that your mom is gonna be like, what about this, and this? And I was just like, bro, like if I told you I got it, I'll take the kids, like that means I got it. But then once I left, I had to sit back and check myself. Was like, no, nigga, you brought this on yourself from poor planning. So now you got to sit and take this. You got to sit. They gonna go around in circles, and if it's gonna be bullshit, it's gonna be bullshit. You put yourself in that position.
I told you a while ago.
Yeah. That was your fault. So like now I'm like, all right, I just got to take that. I got to take that heat when I fuck up.
That's a growth and maturity thing that I don't know if it's an age thing. I don't know if it's a therapy thing. I don't know if it's just us talking all the time. But that's something I do a lot. It's like, was this my fault?
Yeah.
Like what led to this before? Yes, this was the end result.
Yeah.
But if I can go all the way back to the beginning, did I do what I was supposed to do first before this? Like, even if I'm in the rush with the kids, what did I tell them? We were going, did I tell them, hey, 4:45, that's the time.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side, if it's a date, if it's something we do, you got to go to school every day. If it's one of them things,
right.
I'm like, my nigga, we do this every single day. Y'all know the routine, yada, yada. So if it's a new thing, I have so much more grace for her and the kids. If it's a routine thing, I'm like, y'all know, every day at 6, we got to do
goddamn well
this and that. And so it depends, but I still be, trying to give the time frame.
Damn well.
Even when we forget shit, we both been very good at. We used to both feel giving reminders was like saying the other person was incompetent or like didn't know. I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now we're more like, the kids get out at 1:30 today. They've been to get out of school all week because it's the last day of school. She reminded me a hell of times. In my mind, I'm like, nigga, I know. But I also, thanks for the reminder, because had I forgot, I'd have been like, why didn't you remind me?
Yeah.
So other day, she was supposed to pick, I had to go to a show. I said, you're picking the kids up. Told her that morning. She said, yeah. It's time come. Where you at? Oh, shit. And I didn't even get mad at her. I said, I should have reminded you. And she was like, no, I should have remembered, blah, you know what I mean?
That's also a good tactic.
But I took the blame.
Just taking the blame. And then they take the blame from you.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'll take the blame. And then that's how, like, so we've been both trying to be wrong. That's like.
That's been our new thing. Like, both of us being like, you know what? I could have done these things to make this situation better. And the other person's like, no, it's not on you. It's not on you.
But he also sitting there waiting like, so do you want to say what you could have did better?
I'm about to say, Gary gonna get shit for evil, dog. On the other end, be like,
bro, I can use anything. I can use anything for evil.
I've admitted my thing.
You got anything you want to offer?
I apologize. Did you want to
know, man.
No, I would do shit like I would apologize and I'd be like, you see how easy that is to just apologize?
That's what I do a lot. I'm that nigga. I'd be like, you see how easy I just said
it.
Didn't take a lot of effort, nothing.
Oh man.
So yeah, that's one thing I've been doing a lot lately is being like, especially when it comes to our scheduling. Even we used to get irritated if we got asked the same question multiple times. It's in the calendar, you know what I mean? But it's like, nigga, so what? We got a billion things going on. We got, you know what? I should have told you one more time. So she told me hella stuff. And that's why I keep checking the clock because I'm like, oh, no, I got time. I'm good.
Well, I mean, I think that just shows, too, especially I think the longer you're together with somebody, especially in y'all position when both of y'all specifically, when y'all have children, it's like y'all got to learn a different type of patience. And it's like you can't just explode and snap, that quickly over stuff where it's just like, y'all can get so busy and you can forget something that's normal.
Nigga, I forgot last Tuesday. And I knew it was like all day. I was like, it's Tuesday. The kids get out. I went and hooped everything. I'm like, I gotta pick my kids up. It's an early day, nigga. And then went home and just forgot, nigga. Like I was sitting there like, all right, let me go get them. And then I was like, oh shit, it's Tuesday. And I said it all day. And still forgot. So I'm like, now.
How late were you?
About an hour.
Oh,
but in their school, if you're not at the gate within the first 15 minutes or 20, they take them to and they just homework.
They're supposed to call y'all too. Because when I worked at Child
they don't call no more. They just
really?
They know we coming. They know.
Oh,
they used to.
Yeah.
But now you just sit where the kids, because their school has an after school program. They just the kids used to be in the after school program, but we took them out this year because they said, can you please only be in the program if you need it? Because most people working 9 to 5.
Yeah.
They get off. They like, nigga, you home. Come get these kids. So we didn't sign them up this year because I was just using it for more time to myself. I didn't need it.
Bro, have you ever see that's the thing. You've never been left before. Like you never got not picked up. Have you been you've been not picked up? Okay, I have at
so
the
I need to cut your dad off for not picking you up.
You know, this shit happen. You just be sitting out there hella long, like.
Bro,
damn.
my mom was supposed to pick me up from the Boys and Girls Club one time, and she had one of those. She had a binge where she relapsed or whatever, nigga. And I remember I was just sitting there, and it's like, "Is your mom gonna come?" And I was like the last.
Was you like, nah, she relapsed?
Nah,
she ain't gonna be here.
I didn't say it like that. In my head, I was just like, again, like a kid movie. Not again, mom. And I was just sitting there, and I remember my grandma at the time, she was in town. And she drove so slow, and Dad was like, "Oh, grandma coming to come get y'all." And it took my grandma to get from, we lived like maybe 15 minutes. I probably, not walking would have been crazy at that age. But nigga, it took my grandma like an hour to drive like 15 minutes. So like another time on top of the time I was already left there.
But at that point though, you knew somebody was coming though.
At that point,
that's all you want to know.
But beforehand, I was sitting there like, that's when my mom and my dad kind of had split.
Yeah.
So I wanted, and at that time I was leaning towards my mom. I wasn't fucking with my dad like that. I was just like, I want to be with my mom. I love my mom more. It was that energy. So when she didn't come, it was just like I was hurt. Like, how you forget how you forget me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like devastating.
So in this particular case, my kids know I'm coming. Matter of fact, when I get in the car, they be like, "Forgot again." Yeah. Like they don't, because it's happened like 3 times.
All right. Yeah.
So they be like, "Dad," I'll be like, "My bad, bro." Like, and then so they know. What was you at the gym? Was you taking a dump? Like they know I'm coming. They're not
worried.
Know I'm coming. Yeah, they're not worried. They never have a sense of worry, and they hanging out with their friends. Sometimes they be like, "Dad, can you come late?" Because we get time to play, and so they know I'm coming. So I never feel real. The first time it happened, I felt guilt.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry about. Now I'd be like, "Whoops!" So they be like, "This nigga," you know what I mean? Like, and then it's just there's no.
Are you an alarm nigga? I'm an alarm nigga. Like when I have those issues like that, I'll set like 4 alarms.
No, because this hasn't happened. It was just me having a brain fart, just relapse. But we just got good.
Relapse.
Yeah, relapse.
We're just using that term loosely now.
Crazy
relapse, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Just a little sober relapse, you know what I mean? But now I think part of the thing is not only me and Kadi's growth, but just I told her our last actual spat, which was, I can't even remember when it was. I was like, I don't want to fight ever. Like when I tell you I'm at an age where I do not want to do this at all.
Yeah.
I
do
don't
what?
argue. Like I don't want to do this. So whatever it is, can we just figure out a different?
Well, I don't mind arguing.
Gary's like, this is constructive. I like this.
You know why though? Because
I can't.
I think there's growth on the other side. Like just through that whole spat and confrontation, I've learned how to communicate better with y'all.
Right.
But I would say
like just in that moment.
But I would say too, I agree to the people that you're talking to, right? I think that it depends. If you get into an argument with a nigga that's like not about growth, or not trying to
look,
that's just like it goes.
But I don't argue with those niggas.
That's true.
I'm not in those spaces. I'll walk away.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I feel like I was like, I know we were gonna get to a point soon. We're like, all right, we're gonna come back around and be like, all right, we out of here. Yeah. But like,
and I apologize to you guys. Do you guys have anything you want to?